Nigeria, our father's land, things cannot remain the same until we come to the place where things are done right, even as we trust in the God that has created our nation. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, heal love and honesty to grow, and live in just and true. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. To serve with heart and mind one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Oh, peace and unity.
I say a big amen to that. Nigeria, a nation in search of direction, a nation in quest for truth. I'm so specially touched by the last few lines of the second stanza of the national anthem. To build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. You know, in this Catalyst Coalition Forum, where we're seeking to promote what we call catalyst consciousness, to bring about ideas and human instruments that will act as change agents, as catalysts, that won't get compromised in the process of effecting change. They'll be able to maintain their conviction, their values, their principles as they bring the needed transformation to the nation. We're proceeding today from where we stopped last time. I remember the topic we're dealing with, the unshakable foundation of justice. And today I'd like to view it like the indispensable foundation of justice. And today is very special because it's not only me that's going to be talking to you. I have a panel of some fiery young people. I mean, people that are really on fire about this nation. And I need their fire. We need them to fire us up. Probably to awaken us from our docility and provide some illumination, some inspiration, some motivation about where do we go from here? What do we do? What needs to be done? But before then, I'll just give some quick scriptural basis for this issue of an indispensable foundation of justice. In the book of Psalms, Psalm 89, I think verse 14, if I'm right. Psalm 89 is either verse 14 or 16. It says something to the effect that righteousness and justice are the foundation of your throne. Talking about God. Mercy and truth go before your face. Now, this is describing the operation of the invisible throne of God. And it says, the foundation of the throne of God is righteousness and justice. And by reason of this fundamental structure in place, it makes mercy, loving kindness, and truth, reality, to go before God. You can imagine. The same thing is repeated in Psalm 97, I think verse 3. Let's see Psalm 97. Almost verbatim. A fire goes before him, before God, and burns up all his enemies. But before then, look at verse 2. Verse 2 says, clouds and darkness surround him. So, like, God dwells in a light that no one can approach. If you try to get close, it looks like there is a shade of cloud. There is a degree of invisibility. You can't really see through. And there is darkness that surrounds him. And then we saw in verse 3 that fire burns before him. But look at it again. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of his throne. So this is consistent with what we just read in Psalm 89. My point is, if as powerful as God is, as great as he is, as holy as he is, he needs righteousness and justice as the foundation of his throne. While we can say, no throne, no power, no society, no nation can be stable, not to talk of making progress, without justice and righteousness. And when we talk of righteousness, you don't need to go so religious about it. The simplistic way of describing righteousness is things being done right. Let things just be right. Do the right thing the right way at the right time. You don't need any other dictionary to check the meaning of righteousness. And then justice is about fairness to all. That what is good for one should be good for all. Because it's been said that justice anywhere is a threat to injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And when you begin to pick and choose who you favor, the rules and the terms that you apply, you're being partial, you're being selective, then there's no justice. When you're not fair to, when there's no equity. To have an egalitarian society, there must be at the foundation of our structure, as the basis of our operation, righteousness, regardless of your religious persuasion. You must be committed and strongly convinced that things should be done right. And then there must be justice for all. That is when we can actually have the throne of God backing up what we're doing. Because this is how his throne is operational. So when we say from Psalm 11 verse 3, if the foundation be destroyed, What can the righteous do? The righteous, well, you say, should pray. If my people that are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked way, that's still about righteousness. I will hear from heaven, I will heal their land. The righteous can pray. But verse 4 also says God is in his holy temple. So the righteous must consult with God. And God will tell you, what make my own throne stable and powerful, what sustain my throne, is the foundation of righteousness and justice. And so God will direct us back to righteousness and justice. In Psalm 82, we saw it last time, and I can't stop referring to that. It says in verse 5, Psalm 82 verse 5, that they know not, they do not know. You have a people here that were religious, God's people, that lack knowledge. They do not know, neither do they understand. That's what God is saying to them, and they don't know, they don't understand. God is telling them justice is important, righteousness is important. Get your acts right, do things the right way. They don't know that it's vital, they don't understand. Therefore, they walk about in darkness, and all the foundations of the earth are unstable. So what makes the foundation to be faulty is that the people don't know and don't understand the principle of God about righteousness and justice. And so he says in verse 6, because they do not know, and all the foundation of the earth are out of place, and there is darkness, he says, though I say to you, you are God, you are meant to operate like me, as my children. All of you are children of the Most High. But because you do not know, you do not understand, the foundation out of place, you're walking in darkness. Look at the next verse. He says, you shall die like mere men. So, when there is no knowledge and understanding of what God is saying about righteousness and justice, it leads to destruction. Because if you go back way to verse 3, verse 4, before verse 5, where he said they know not, he is saying, what I want you to do is to attend to the fatherless, defend the poor, do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Look at that, verse 4. So these are the things they do not know and don't understand. Deliver the poor and the needy, free them from the hand of the wicked, from oppressors. But when you do not know this and you do not understand, you walk in darkness. Foundations out of place. And the only thing that can be done, if we're not going to die like mere men, instead of living like God wants us to live, we must get back to lay the right foundation. If the foundation is bad, that's a big structural problem. And I've said, I ended last week, I'm reaffirming, and I hope as I begin to bring contributors today, the panel, they will help us shine some light, shed some light into this issue. I was saying, Nigeria don't just have a foundational problem. We have a structural problem. Isaiah 28 verse 20 says, the bed is too short. The system is deficient, cannot accommodate everything that is happening that needs to be done. The bed is too short to stretch out upon. And the covering is too narrow. A person cannot wrap himself in it. So this is structural deficiency. There's foundational problem. There's structural deficiency. And there's no way we're going to fix the challenges and the bottlenecks and the hog and the will of our progress concerning this country, except we're ready to address the foundational issue. Call it restructuring, call it reordering, whatever you want to call it. There's no way we're going to be able to get out of the hole we have bottled ourselves in, except we're ready to put a proper structure in place. We should have the courage to do what is right. And I think the way it's going to start is, let's talk to ourselves. Let's speak to the issues. Let's no longer be intimidated, silenced, docile, pessimistic, and all of that. So, this is Catalyst Coalition, bringing you another dimension of catalyst consciousness that we believe is going to bring a strong transformational impact into the polity. And we'll go on a short break. After that, I'll be introducing members of the panel for today. God bless you.
I believe social justice should include equal access to opportunity.
Social justice means a life determined on human rights and equality. It's a right, something that every person in the planet deserves.
Social justice is for everyone, including people with disabilities.
ما نمیتوانیم در جامعه‌ای که فاصله بین فقرا و اغنیا بیش از اندازه است انتظار آرامش داشته باشیم.
Because you've always understood that social, economic and environmental policies and action must work together to create sustainable change.
The world must have social justice at its heart, or in fact the crisis will continue.
Economic growth is for something, is for social development.
Every nation must make sure that economic growth transforms into economic development.
One of the best ways to get to social justice is decent work. It's the dignity of work, the dignity of the human being, the stability of the family, the peace in the community that decent work gives you.
Well, welcome back to this Catalyst Coalition platform. And I told you that it's going to get very hot because I'm not here alone. I have some very special people with me right on set. And I'm going to start from my right-hand side, that's on your left. A passionate sales and marketing communication professional with the financial services sector, a seasoned consultant in the health management sector, an activist at heart, I can testify to that, a transformational agent, and for your information, she's happily married with 3 children. She doesn't look that way. Her name is Adetutu Agbola. We call her Tutu. Tutu. Hello, Tutu, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad
Let
to
me
be
call
here.
you Catalyst Tutu, since you're an activist at heart.
Great, my distinguished catalyst.
Thank you. And to my left, on your right, is another fiery guy. This guy can bring the house down. He's an entrepreneur. He's an information technologist and a farmer. What a combination. A transformational leader. And also he's married with 2 boys. His name is Julius Macaulay Agui. Hey, Catalyst Julius, are you on fire?
Always on fire.
We've been trying to calm you down.
Well, until we begin to see results,
okay,
we will begin to calm down.
Yeah, because it's like you are reaching a boiling point. It's like
we're actually at a boiling point, and we hope we will not spill over very soon.
My goodness. Okay. Let's start with Tutu, since it should be ladies first. What can we say about the situation of our country? You probably heard some of my intervention. Sure. Can we say that we have a proper and a solid foundation if justice and righteousness, if equity, and godly principle should be the indispensable foundation upon which a system and a society should run? The Nigeria the way you see Nigeria going, do we have a proper foundation?
Thank you so much for having me here. This is a subject that I'm so passionate about because I am a Nigerian. But like you said, is our country founded on principles that will move us forward?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is no.
Wow.
The answer is no. It is ironic that the last line of our national anthem says, "One nation, bound in freedom, in peace and in unity."
That's right.
But I will ask first that, are we one nation? Another question is that, are we free, bound in freedom? Freedom of speech, for example.
Okay.
A few months back, a month thereabout, we had people, young people, who went out thinking they were free to speak, who said, for Nigeria, things must change. But we see that instead of them living out that anthem in freedom, what did we get? Intimidation.
Okay.
So are we free? Is there peace in Nigeria? Is there unity in Nigeria? There are many things we need to reorder. There are many things that need to be addressed. And the first for me is the issue of a national spirit. Some people would say, are we really a nation? So is there national spirit? Mm-hmm. But before we can even speak of national spirit, we must have one voice if Nigeria will change. Mm-hmm. If there will be transformation in this country, there must be change. And we must speak as one voice and say, we have had enough. Okay. Since I've been a child, Nigeria has been the way it is, and now it has grown worse, as it were, in quote. So there must be change, and how will it happen? By every man, every woman, everyone in the parastatals, the people in the National Assembly, in the religious bodies, the civic societies, everyone standing, and we are saying we want a change in this country. All right. And until everyone holds on to that and keeps pushing for that, generations that are coming are going to hold us. Okay. Because I don't know the legacy that we are leaving for coming generations.
Thank you. I told you, she's on fire. You had that. And I think that's a very good premise to come to. Julius, you had what to say. Are you in agreement, or do you have a different perspective? She told us, among other things, that as far as it's concerned, Nigeria seems to be getting worse. That's from what she knew the country to be when she was a child. Things are getting worse. And there's a lot that needs to be done. And we need to be sincere about the real state of the nation. What is your own perspective?
Well, just thinking about the question and what you were saying, we used to hear how our fathers ate free meal in institutions, tertiary institutions. Until in the last 10, 20 years, most institutions in Nigeria, universities, polytechnics, were government-owned. There were no private institutions. Yeah. Why? There were standards in place. If any well-to-do Nigeria want the best for their children, they cannot even send their own children to a federal or government-owned institution
in the present-day Nigeria.
This is 8 months. Yeah. The Nigerian youths have been at home.
Out of school.
Out of school. And before the EndSARS, the lockdown. Now the lockdown is over. And the government do not even see the reason why the young people should be in the four walls of the institution. The foundation, sincerely, is broken down. And until we come to that realization that this thing has packed up, let's put it aside and rejig the system.
And fix it.
Funny enough, we have people in authorities that you try to speak, they muzzle you.
Okay.
You try to and the Constitution, I think in section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution, subsection 1, gives us the right to freedom to speak. Yeah. And you see what happened in October. Yeah. Young people coming out, and we are all saying, end police brutality. Excuse me. Because when we see, it's so painful. What is going on in the country is so painful. End police brutality was all they demanded for. And yet, you would carry the same institution that we are calling for review to come intimidate, harass, kill, and then you come out and you say nobody was killed. That was a governor or a CEO of a state responsible for the people. You lied on a national TV. The foundation, for me sincerely, the peace and the foundation of this country is at a breaking point. And if nothing is done by the National Assembly, we expect to represent the needs of these people, of our needs. If nothing is done, then Nigeria will soon become something else.
Well, this is powerful, and you agreed with what Tutu said about people being intimidated because they dared to speak out, to voice out. And both of you made reference to the last NSAS protest and what has been the response and the reaction of people in government. So when you talk about the young generation and the protesters being intimidated, can you throw some light? Can you shed some light? Because we can as well say you are speaking for the youth, just being here.
I thank you for that. Just some few days back, I think precisely on Tuesday, one of the prominent speakers, Eroms, as popular called, was arrested. And the police said that he was arrested on the protest ground. But there are videos out there. In the public domain.
Where the sister was speaking.
Where the sister was called.
On television.
And they deceived her only for them to identify her so that they could ambush. I don't understand how well a government, a right-thinking government, just because he was outspoken.
So the sister confirmed that she was deceived, and then they went to the house
and
to arrest
her. And they went to the house. There are videos online how not one healers, not two. And you have so much political, military might and police might. What happens in the north?
Harassing the people.
We see what is happening in the north. Just this same week, people traveling could not travel. The people killing in the north now, they say, when you pay tax, they are also demanding for the herdsmen. They are now demanding tax from farmers before they can go and cultivate,
harvest their crops
what they have planted. The intimidation of this government is
so Eros is actually arrested.
He was brought
to court
on Tuesday. There is no charge and there is nothing, and we are told that his bail, his fine is 1 million naira. Please, what's his offense? We do not know what his offense is.
And it's one of the protesters.
Did he carry guns? But we see the people carrying guns. They are being clothed, and we are told that billions will be spent.
So again, I think we can all agree that there is no justice, there is no fairness. As a matter of fact, one of our leaders, also a Catholic, based in the federal capital, he put it so powerfully this way. He says that the problem of Nigeria is not just about insecurity. It's also the insincerity of people in power. That we're having challenges of insecurity because there's no sincerity. So, Tutu, what can you say as a lady, as a mother, and you're also still a youth? How do you represent this different demographic about the state of the nation, the things going on? How can you speak for other mothers, younger people, young ladies out there? How do you think they feel about what is going on? What do they want? What are these people asking for? What do they expect?
Today, I speak for the Nigerian youth. I speak for the Nigerian youth because what we want is good governance. What we want is a chance to get to where we want to out of merit and not because we know somebody. What we want is a better Nigeria. The inequality as a woman, there are statistics that show in even professional fields, there are fields in profession that women, the gender inequality and discrimination for women is as low as 3%. Whereas professions, the highest you will get in most professions is about 20-something%, apart from nursing.
Okay.
So is this fairness? For the Nigerian youth today, what we are agitating for is posterity. The time of our fathers, I was speaking to my father-in-law, and it was like at so certain age, he was thinking of building houses. This was the time that young people were building houses.
Okay.
During their time. Now, people of that age they're not even thinking about building houses. They're looking at how to eat.
Yeah. And no
The
job.
government should provide an environment that is enabling for growth, for potentials to be achieved.
Yeah.
Majority of the people who stood there at the NSAS protest ground, they are entrepreneurs.
Okay.
They are people who have made things work by putting policies in place, doing things that make sense. These are entrepreneurs, the people who brought out their food and began to feed protesters on the protest ground.
Wow.
That tells us that Nigeria can work. If the right people, if the young people are allowed to have a chance. Come on, this country is my country as it is the country of the head of state.
Come on.
So please, this marginalization, the tribalism, the bigotry, it must stop. As a mother, I am concerned for the future of my children.
Absolutely.
I heard when the head of state addressed the nation. By the time the address was done, I was about to be served my food and I couldn't eat.
Okay.
Because I was wondering, what does the future hold? So my message to the Nigerian youth is we move.
Okay.
Do not be silent. Do not be coward. National Assembly, we voted you people there.
Yeah.
Do something, speak.
So the young
because
people
you
should
lose
not
your voice, you lose your relevance.
The young people should not be
We
intimidated.
cannot be intimidated.
Yeah, and
we
then
cannot.
We should refuse to be silent.
No, we cannot be silent.
Well, you said it so powerfully. You had to. I told you that was coming, and I think it's going to get better because we still have another special guest that will be bringing on to join us on this panel of discussion. And don't go anywhere. We'll be coming your way just after this short break. Thank you, Tutu, and thank you, Julius. We'll still take it further. There's a lot to talk about.
So much, sir,
There's a lot to be done.
It's a privilege.
Keep the fire burning. Things are bound to change. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Until you have had the taste of finishing, you will not respect yourself. Until you follow through, until something is done, tears and struggles and pain, and you go through it anyway, and you show up and you continue to fight on no matter the circumstances. I'm gonna go for it, come hell or high water. I'm going after my destiny. I lost a lot of stuff. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of strength. I lost a lot of courage. I lost a lot of time. I lost a lot of money, but I was still believing. Broke, I was believing. Lonely, I was believing. Betrayed, I was believing.
Oh, you're welcome back to this Catalyst Coalition platform, where we're trying to stir up and promote some catalyst consciousness. We still have on set Julius Macaulay Awi, and you are still boiling even when we went on break. And I think we need to allow you to vent out. You were talking about your expectations and probably now your state of disappointment about this. Before I bring in the other guests, I used to know you as someone that was very passionate, somewhat committed to the current government, the people in power, the party in power. So what changed? What happened? What were your expectations? What happened?
Thank you very much, distinguished catalysts.
Thank you.
I remember vividly 2014, when this new government was about to come in. I was a strong advocate for change.
Okay.
I had so many quarrels with friends, families.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is your conviction? Why would you want to vote this change? And my expectation was the incumbent then were not giving us the opportunity. There was so much corruption. Things were really not working.
Yeah. You felt there was incompetence.
We felt there was incompetence, cluelessness. And so you go online, check everywhere. 2014, 2015. Strong advocate for this current APC government. And I remember after we had voted and we waited 6 months or thereabouts before appointments were made.
Yeah.
And we were told that, well, this is his style, but once he hits the ground, he would move. And we began to now see retrogression. Institutions that were built, we thought there would be some form of reformation, renovations.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we begin to see retrogressions.
Yeah.
And I remember some family friends calling me and said, we told you.
Absolutely.
We told you. And I said, excuse me, what was sold to us and what we see are too contrary.
Okay.
And there's no form of tally.
I'm sure even some of your friends in church, you guys had a lot of arguments.
It was a big fight.
Yeah.
In church,
Yeah.
in the office domain. I have a childhood friend that even till now, he still makes references.
So the problem now is that the government and the party and the candidate you supported did not deliver what was promised. The change that was promised has not come there.
Delivery is if there is something to offer.
So that,
I would rather say they've not offered us anything.
so you're disappointed.
Absolutely and totally disappointed. Disappointed in the way and manner this government is treating us currently.
Both the youths and
We
the
protested
the
in
people of the
2012.
nation. Yeah.
We said, oh, fuel should not be this. They told us dollar will be at 1 naira.
Yeah.
Fuel will be brought down. Our refineries will work.
Wow.
The road system, everything will work. But we see just this week now, fuel is 170.
So you have a lot of issues, and I think you represent so many. Because I know people that campaigned, voted, advocated for this change, and they are as angry as you are.
It's a bitter pill.
And except there is change, except what was promised is delivered, which we're not sure is possible.
Can we have it?
Time is running out.
And that is why we are calling on the National Assembly. The electoral reform that was suspended just before the 2019 election should be revisited.
Okay. Thank you, Julius. I think at this stage, it's obvious that you're not going to be satisfied until there is a change.
Certainly.
You are insisting that things cannot continue the way they are. Yeah, so you just had Julius. I told you he's on fire. But I have this special guest, somebody I'm very passionate about. His name is Godwin Ihinobele. He's a legal practitioner based in Lagos. He's a social activist and a public speaker. He's married to his beautiful wife and they have a beautiful daughter. Barrister Godson, you're welcome. I'm sure you've been following all our intervention and you surely have something to tell us. Do you agree that Nigeria as a country is in crisis, that will have a problem? And if we have a problem, what is the problem? What is the way out? What is the way forward? How do we navigate this? What's going on? Speak to us both as an activist, as a legal practitioner, as a Christian, someone that believes in justice and fairness. What do you have to tell us?
Well, sincerely, there is a problem in Nigeria.
Okay.
We don't need to be told about that. First and foremost, permit me to quote from this popular author, D. Olu Olagoke,
okay,
the author of The Incorruptible Judge. He said, if the citadel of justice is corrupt, what will happen to the body?
Wow.
The body will collapse. And that's the state we are now in the nation.
The citadel of justice is corrupt.
If the citadel of justice is corrupt,
Yeah, the body will collapse.
What will happen to the body? That is the word there.
My goodness.
See, Nigeria, I hate or I frown rather when I hear government say change begin from me.
Okay.
Change begin from the people. No.
Like passing the buck to you.
Change does not begin from me.
Yeah.
Or from my neighbor.
Or with you, yeah.
It's government that make the change.
Okay.
Change begin from government.
They promise the
When,
change.
yes, when the proper policies is in place, every other person will follow suit.
Come on.
So you can't tell me change begin from me. No.
Okay.
That's why there is check and balance. You do the right thing. If I say you doing the right thing,
You will kill.
then I do the right thing.
Yeah.
Since the history of men, even in the Bible, God said God repented himself for making man.
That's right.
So you can't actually say, men should do the right thing before government will follow suit. No.
Yeah, God is like government. So God will not say, if you don't do the right thing, I won't do the right
You don't
thing.
expect that from me.
Yeah.
When I see the right thing be done by government,
Yeah.
when government cease to take the wrong way and they follow to take the
right
wrong
way,
way and the
yeah.
right way, everybody will follow suit.
Leadership by example.
Leadership by example. So don't tell me, don't give me that yardstick.
Okay.
Change begin from me.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, if we need a change in this country, this our great country, Nigeria, what we just need is to stabilize our institution.
Okay, there's an institutional problem.
Yeah, institutional decay.
Okay.
That's the challenge we are having.
How? Can you shed more light on that?
Okay, thank you. A situation whereby the judiciary will grant so person bail, and the government will not release that person.
Okay.
Because they want to hear from a high profile.
Yeah, they don't obey court orders.
Must
Yeah.
call,
Yeah.
Or the governor must speak before that person will be released on bail. Even if the court said, no. Grant this person bail, and we have released this person on bail, and the court order will be disobeyed.
Yeah.
So how can we continue as a nation?
That's right.
So you don't expect, in fact, you don't put something on nothing and expect it to
That's
stand.
right. No rule of law.
No rule of law.
there's
Nothing
many
is
of
working in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So the only way out and the only solution is the institution to be obeyed. We have a fantastic rules. We have the constitution. We have the laws. We have the regulation. It's just for the country, for everybody, the government of the day to follow the rule of law,
Yeah.
and everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
And we need a situation whereby my little daughter can pick up a call. If there is any crisis, she will boldly call the police, and police will rush down to the occasion.
Yeah.
Without calling or finding out who is behind or who is the father, who is the mother.
That's right. You don't need to know anybody before you get you.
A
What is
wheelbarrow
due to
pusher,
you.
when he's having problem, he should have that contact of the police and call police, right? And they will rise up to the occasion. Rather, what are we feeling? What are we passing through now? If you don't belong to the high profile, you don't belong to, if you are not...
You don't have high connection,
you
yeah.
don't have high connection,
Yeah.
or your parents or your daddy, your uncle is not...
It's not somebody, yeah.
You are just there.
Yeah.
You are suffering and smiling.
Yeah, Paris.
Nobody is happy, really.
Comrade and Barrister Godson. How about regions in the country that feel deprived, disenfranchised? No, there's a lot of cry about injustice, marginalization, lopsidedness in appointment. And I think Julius made reference to that. What will you say to that? Isn't that also part of injustice and proper institution not being in place? You know?
You see, this is exactly why some of us are clamoring for restructuring.
Okay, restructuring.
Yes.
Amen.
So when government yield to the voice of the people by restructuring those issues, all these abnormalities will be a thing of the past.
So these problems are symptoms.
Seriously.
The real reason to deal with is the structure. And except there's a restructuring, the symptom will not go away.
Yes, because you cannot bring, for instance, you can't bring a police officer from the north to my own community whereby he doesn't even understand the language. He doesn't know how things are work. He doesn't understand my culture. And you are saying he should come and police.
So the issue of state and community policing is germane.
Because it's someone that knows me, that knows my neighbor, that know how to take care of me. That know how
Every
to
crime is local.
because you understand all the nook and crannies.
Yeah.
So how can you bring a foreigner to police me? It's not possible.
Yeah.
How will you not post me to Sokoto whereby I don't understand the language, I don't understand the culture of the people?
And
it will take me a decade to start even learning the language.
And that's just a tip of the iceberg as far as the issue of restructuring is concerned. So how do we achieve this restructuring? I've heard you speaking personally about that. Because the people in power or in office don't seem to be interested in that. They keep kicking the can down the road. And, you know, it's like before people get to power, they promise we're going to, oh yeah, we believe in restructuring is going to happen. They get there and they say, you know what, that's not what we need. You go to National Assembly. National Assembly seems to be compromised, being controlled as it's perceived. So how can we make it happen? How can the Nigerian people make this issue of restructuring and putting institutions in place that function for the benefit of the people and not for the benefit of the people in power?
The only way it can happen is for all of us, you, myself,
Yeah.
my brother, my sister, my neighbors.
Yeah.
We should come out in man, just like the NSAS.
Okay.
Everybody, not just the youth.
Okay.
Because where we sit in our comfort zone and we're saying, oh, the youth try, we're clapping. No. Let's go above that.
We should all come out and voice out. Yeah.
Old women,
Yeah.
the young,
Yeah.
everybody must.
Male, female.
Everybody must come.
Yeah.
We have to come to take this.
Religious, non-religious
people.
people.
All the
Yeah.
traditional rulers, everybody come out.
Yeah. We have a common problem.
It's a common problem.
And we have to face it
So
together.
there is no way we'll face this common problem and the solution will not come. At the end of the day, the government will yield to our demand.
If we all rise up.
If we all rise to
So
the
we can no longer afford to be docile.
Not at all. And
You
that's
know,
the problem we are having.
yeah.
Because according to late Fela Nicola Kokuti,
Yes.
he said there is this popular song he sang.
Yeah.
Oh, I know one die. My papa did for house. My mama did
Yeah.
for house. Because you scared.
Yes.
If you rise up to the occasion before you know call is coming from anywhere.
Wow.
Oh, do you have somebody in government?
Okay.
You kill yourself?
Well.
Please relax.
Well.
Are you the one to fix Nigeria? But if I am running, you are running. At the end of the day, who will fix Nigeria?
Well, you quoted Fela Nicola Kokuti of blessed memory, and he's turned out to be a prophet. Everything he said about Nigeria is being fulfilled by the day. But the Bible also tells us that if you are subject to fear, you remain in bondage all your lifetime.
Certainly.
So we must break the yoke of fear. We must refuse to be intimidated. The rest people that spoke on this panel told us that we can't afford to be intimidated. We can't afford to be caged, as it were. Our freedom of expression, regardless of the intimidation, must not be given up. And you are saying, if we keep speaking to the issues, if we all rise up together, if we keep mounting pressure to the people in office, it will get to a point they'll have no option
That is the
but
way,
to yield to our
and
request.
it's the only way out.
Okay, so you had it there from Barrister Godson, and I want to thank everyone that's contributed to this, people that are behind the scene, working tirelessly to help us put all of this together. And you're going to be seeing more of these templates. We have a lineup of people that are on fire and have content from far and near that will be contributing on this Catalyst Coalition. I mean, some people that will be very, very interesting for you to listen to. And we hope this is stirring you up, and your consciousness of being a catalyst, an agent of change, is also building up. Let the momentum continue. Let it reach saturation point. And we're so convinced that we are at a tipping point. Something will have to give, and the right thing will be done. And it's going to be for the benefit of everyone. God bless you, and we'll look forward to bringing another special package your way. Until then, see you.